22 July 2020, and I'm joined by Mr. Tinashe Jonas from Zimbabwe. How are you, sir?
I'm very fine, and you, sir?
Fantastic. Mr. Jonas, today we want to quickly discuss the issue of the lockdown in Zimbabwe. Did you see the announcement of a curfew by Mnangagwa yesterday?
Of course, I saw it.
Okay, what are your opinions on that lockdown and the curfew?
No, my opinion is that it was the imperative thing to do because the cases have risen almost from 900 or to 1,000 to 1,700, which is almost 100% rise. So I think there was no other choice because it's the government responsibility to save lives.
Okay, there are some quarters who say that this was a political move to block the 31 July demonstrations. Do you think this was the case?
Okay. I think I need to explain to Zimbabweans that there are two narratives in our country currently. The first narrative is the ED, which is imagined, which can be removed by even a cockroach can remove that ED from office. And then there is a real ED who can only be removed by elections 2023. So MDC Alliance has sold a false narrative that they can remove ED any day, anytime. And the Zimbabweans, gullible Zimbabweans are buying into that narrative. And the Zimbabweans are not focusing on developing the country, are not focusing on uniting people, are not focusing on anything. Zimbabweans now are on the edge that on the 31st or any day Chamisa wants, Mnangagwa is going to be history. I want to categorically make it clear that Mnangagwa is going to be there until 2023. Then Zimbabweans are going to decide to remove him or not. Any imagination that Mnangagwa is going to be removed on the 31st or any other day, it's false. It's virtual reality. We are so much addicted to social media that we think that when we post ED must go, ED would wake up not there. We are a country of imagination, a country of high illiteracy rate, which is almost over 90%. We are very educated, so our minds are overthinking. It's a false narrative. 31st is not going to be there, and it was never there. So the lockdown curfew measures are not to thwart the demonstration, because MDC Alliance has done a lot of demonstrations, final push, anything, they've yielded nothing. So the world president can't sit and announce just to block a demonstration when MDC has done over 50 demonstrations, which has done nothing.
Okay, now let's look at the actual curfew itself. It's from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Yeah. What is the logic of that?
The logic, obviously, is law enforcement is easier during the day. At night, our economy is so informalized, meaning there are some deals people do at night, whether they are selling illegal things like Bronco Clear, like Daha, whatsoever. In an informalized economy, some people they take advantage and do illegal things. So it's very difficult to law enforcement during the night.
Okay, then shops are supposed to open from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. What is the logic of that?
Yeah, the logic is still, it's very easy to monitor during the day, as I said, as opposed to the night. Night gatherings, night businesses, it's not easy. And even those corrupt police who want to accept a bribery, it's so easy, and but it's very difficult and daring during the day. So I think it's all about monitoring and evaluation in terms of sanitizations and the social distancing.
Okay, are people going to be able to find transport since people are only using Zupco?
Yeah, the curfew obviously has reduced a lot of traveling. Intercity and the urban, rural are all banned. So the limited transport is going to be a bit enough because the there won't be business as usual because it's a lockdown.
Okay. And then let's look at shops that will be open.
Yeah.
They are saying only essential shops or essential services should be open.
Yes.
Can you explain further? Are the markets going to be open like Mbaremsika?
Yeah. All the food outlets are allowed to open so that people, they access food, and the people are allowed to travel to, if it's about to fetch water, it's about to get food. So basically, the curfew is targeting since they, remember, most of the corona cases in Zimbabwe were all imported, mostly predominantly from South Africa. But now local cases are rising more than those coming from South Africa. So it's just to try to control the spread of, because lives must come first, business second.
What do you think is driving the local infections?
Okay, our economy, as it is informal, an informal economy means mostly hand to mouth. So people are forced to be on the streets more often than not, and people are forced to travel across. And it's because people can't save enough. But if our economy was more, formalized, it means people are earning enough. They can even have the luxury not to go out maybe for a month and use their savings. But in an informal economy of us, there's less savings. So people, they've got to work today to eat today, work tomorrow to eat tomorrow. So there's a lot of traveling and interpersonal interactions and engagements, which is heightening the rises of the cases.
Okay, then I want to end with the ban on political gatherings.
Yeah.
Was that necessary?
It's necessary because I think politics is an emotional activity. When people are together politically and they are singing, they are doing, it's a very emotional that people, they can even forget about because gatherings must not be separated from other gatherings. Because be it business, be it political, be it social, a gathering is a gathering. So, and our country, people are more political than anything. So I think it's necessary because what is the biggest security threat right now to Zimbabwe is the coronavirus pandemic. As to politics, we just need to change our politics and stop insults and stop imagining that Mnangagwa is going to be removed in the next hour when we know the reality that he won't be removed. The hate we are experiencing in our politics has reduced everyone into the country to be a hater, to be an imagination guru. Mnangagwa is going to be there until 2023. That's the reality. Anyone who wants to purport that Mnangagwa is going to be removed by demonstration must explain why any demonstration that is going to remove Mnangagwa is so different from other demonstrations, including the final pushes before.
Okay, so I want to just point out that South Africa has got a curfew. Lesotho has got a curfew. In fact, South Africa has even banned alcohol. Mm-hmm. Botswana, I think they also have a very hard lockdown. Yeah. Why do you think that the government of Zimbabwe has failed to communicate that this is not a unique case in the case of Zimbabwe?
They are not failing. They are doing it properly. But remember, us as opposition, we are getting money from donors, which is imperial powers, and we are promising them that we are removing ED in the next hour. So local media in Zimbabwe, regional, international media, they've gained against the government narrative. So it's a global project to give Zimbabweans a euphoric mentality that Mnangagwa can be removed, so that it destabilizes the whole government plans and sabotages economy and everything, so that at the end of the day, it will be ZANU-PF has failed, ED has failed, and all the efforts they are doing, they are undermined because international media is owned by the same hostile countries. So Zimbabweans are buying into that. For example, Wopwe Uchingono was not arrested for exposing corruption of the government. Wopwe was arrested for inciting violence. So, but the people, they are buying the narrative that he was arrested to silence him because he's talking about corruption. So it's our duty as Zimbabweans to put our heads down and together and build the country, or we are going to sing and dance that Mnangagwa is gone when Mnangagwa is there. Then our economy is going to suffer and our country is going to suffer and we are going to die. And they are not dying. Those people who give us money to destabilize the country, their families are safe. It's our families, it's your mother, it's your sister who is going to die in Zimbabwe.
Right, Mr. Tinashe Jonas from ITO Zimbabwe, I've really enjoyed talking to you. Is there anything you want to say before we close?
I want to say Zimbabwe is divided into two now. The real Zimbabwe, which is presided over by ZANU-PF, and the imagined or virtual MDC alliance Zimbabwe, where Chamisa imagines himself as a president in the next 2 minutes, when he knows that he can't be a president in the next 3 years. And the gullible people are clamoring for ED to go when ED is there and they know he's there. Can we remove the imagined Zimbabwe and work on the real Zimbabwe? ED is the president right now. Whether we like it or not, what he says stands. What Chamisa says remain imagination. What ED says. So ED, if I can give example of dogs, ED is a dog which can bite. Chamisa is a dog which can bark, ukura. So can we build a country on ukura, on barking? No. Let's unite. ZANU-PF, MDC Alliance, ZAPU, let's unite now and build our country. It's not too late. Thank you, Zimbabwe.
Thank you, Mr. Jonas. I'll talk to you again next week.
Thank you for the opportunity.